was a very nice young fella. And I can remember we were coming out to Sunday school one day, and his mother was waiting the other side of the road, and his dog saw him and ran into the road and was hit by a car. And I can remember Dennis going into the road and picking that dog up and carrying him. And I thought how nice that was. I think I was interested a long while before he was. But I knew when he was interested because he came to church twice on a Sunday, which was unheard of, really, and walked me home.
I was shanghaied, actually. I was on leave from the RAF and I was invited to go round to supper. Very brave to go, actually, to face her dear stepmother. She was a battle axe.
He had a week's leave and we went out with one another and knew that things were like that between us. Although we'd known each other all those years, it was a very short time.
I was in Egypt at the time. I put it in writing, actually put it in writing.
Well, we were writing to one another, of course, and so there it was in black and white.
We'd been corresponding, obviously, and decided it was the best thing to be doing. I was caught, so I better get on with it.
And I said yes.
We became officially engaged, much to her dear mother's annoyance.
Then he came home. I didn't know he was coming home, and he arrived on my doorstep, and I'd been eating spring onions.
The wedding was at the old Pump Street Methodist Church, which doesn't exist now. That was destroyed and it is now St Andrew's Church now. But the old church was known as Pump Street Methodist at the time.
Wasn't very nice weather, sort of drizzly, until we got in for the reception, and then of course the sun came out. But I was absolutely frightened to death because of the crowds. Pump Street was quite crowded, and opposite the church was the pork butcher's shop. And so on my wedding photographs I have got the people queuing up for sausages. The bridesmaids were very lovely, and the little ones were very good. 2 little ones, 5 years old. Dennis's niece and my cousin, and then my sister and Dennis's sister as adult bridesmaids. Looking back, I sort of wish I'd been there, because that's how I felt. It just really, I think, went all over my head.
A reception we held at, again, it's a place that doesn't exist now, Hopkins Cafe in Broad Street. That doesn't exist. I don't know how many we had, 20-ish I would think, not many more. It wasn't easy to get catering done. And even to get a cake, you had to get a permit to get the fruit, make a cake for your own wedding.
And on top of that, they wanted some dried fruit towards the cake, which of course was all on coupons. Father-in-law had kindly lent us his car to go for our honeymoon, and we knew there were 1 or 2 that were going to sabotage it. So we just said goodbye and left without going round them, shaking hands or anything.
Then we went off to Babbacombe for our honeymoon, only for a week. Couldn't afford any more.
And there you are, we went to Babbacombe and 4 of them did. Babbacombe.